Okay, so now what? If we started with 1/3 of a pan and we need to break it up amongst the 3 dogs, we need to divide it by how much? If you said 3, that's right. We're going to divide it in 3 more parts. So go ahead and do this on your own journal. Okay, so here we have it. I shaded in the 1 unit a little bit darker because if we split 1/3 into 3 equal parts, we can see that each is 1/9 of the pan. So we want to know how much each piece is worth. So even though we were left with 1/3 of the pan of cornbread, we want to know how much of the whole each dog is going to get. And if we look at this drawing, it's evident that 1/9 of the pan was given to each dog. And of course, don't forget to add the answer to your equation. Let's review some strategies this morning on how you can divide fractions by whole numbers. Okay, so your first problem is 1/2 divided by 3. Looking at this problem, it's helpful when we have some kind of representation of what we're working with instead of just looking at numbers. So I always like to think of some kind of story problem. So let's just say I have 1/2 of a yard of ribbon and I want to divide it up into 3 pieces so I can make 3 different crafts. One strategy or model to use to solve this problem would be a number line. Creating a number line would help divide half and then breaking those halves into thirds. So here you can see I've divided my number line in half and I've identified where the end mark is, or my hole. Record this in your math journal now. Because I'm dividing my half into thirds, I want to make sure that I start at my half point. So I've divided my half into thirds. Do you see the 3 pieces? Okay, so now what? Now I label my pieces. So each mark represents a part of my whole. So you see where I marked 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, so on and so forth. This is each section of the whole, or each part of the whole. And what does this mean? If I have half of a yard of ribbon and I'm sharing or breaking it up into 3 pieces, how much is each piece represent of the whole? If you said 1/6, give yourself a little pat on the back because you're right. So here I just have shown that it's 1/6 of a yard. And I can represent this by either circling that area or, in this case, I shaded it in. Great, so that was one way that we can solve a fraction divided by a whole number problem. Let's try one more way with the same problem, just to make sure we're comfortable. Draw an array. The first thing I'm going to need to do is remember what I'm starting with. How much do I have? 1/2. So I'm going to divide my array into half. You should do the same. Now I'm dividing my half into how many pieces or parts? 3, that's right. There's my 3 parts. Now, how much is represented here? What am I looking at? What is 1/2 divided by 3? This represents 1 of the 3 parts that I have divided up. So my answer is 1 out of 6. The same answer, 2 different paths to get there.